Hi, everyone. Welcome to Abbey Research Reads. I am Dr. Kristen, and today I am talking to you about another YA book. I know, but I just can't get enough of them right now. And one of the things I like about them is that they're quick reads. I don't have time for War and Peace. And I don't enjoy a lot of the more literary explorations of identity or development because they tend to be a little serious. They tend to be just a lot more overwrought to me. There's some exceptions, like A Girl is a Body of Water that I'll be talking about later on in the series. But they just take me longer to read and they're less enjoyable. And I like the YA can capture that moment in adolescence where like everything is possible and you're deciding who you are. And I think too, honestly, so many of these, I just wish that I had read as an adolescent. YA wasn't really a thing when I was younger. I mean, I read the ones that were out there in Babysitter's Club and the Gymnast series and Thoroughbred and all that, but that was a little bit more middle grade reader. And I would have loved a lot of these things. So some of it is like I'm reading for 14-year-old Kristen, who would have really loved to know these characters, especially this one by Australian author Jenna Guillaume, What I Like About Me. This is a summer romance, fling thing. And it's straightforward. The premise is that Maisie Martin is 16 and she's going on vacation with her family to a beach 8 hours away from her house in Australia. They go every year. They kind of go with the same families. This is a thing. Her dad isn't joining them this year, which is a source of dramas. She has a really contentious relationship with her mother. Her mother spends a lot of time talking about her body. Maisie is what I'm assuming is probably a size 20 for US. So somewhere around there, how she talks about herself, she's somewhere between an 18 and a 20. She might be a little bit smaller, but she's definitely plus sized. And this causes her mother, a beauty queen, a lot of consternation. Her mother was a professional dancer and then became a dance mom. And Maisie's older sister, Eve, really leaned into that identity. And that caused a lot of tension between Eve and Maisie. So there's the setup. Maisie is also completely in love with a boy named Sebastian Lee, who happens to be the son of the family that they vacation with. Love an Eponine vibe. But there's this other guy that keeps flirting with her, the friend of Sebastian, and his name is Beamer. And if you are 37 and me, as you read this, you're like, oh, Beamer likes you, girl. Stop sniffing around Sebastian. Beamer likes you and he seems like a good guy. And he's not one of those guys that flirts with her by torturing her. He's a genuinely good guy. He just very clearly doesn't kind of know what to do with his hands. So anyway, I loved it. She ends up with Beamer instead of Sebastian. She and Sebastian have some really great conversations. I really enjoyed this book. But one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it is that it's a really good book for body representation and conversations about fat rep and the mindset of somebody who is larger than society often allows us to be. In this book, Maisie's older sister Eve brings a girlfriend and her name is Bess. And Bess is, in my mind, a little bit like Tess Holliday. She is tattooed and very rockabilly, very plus size, and very obviously physically not ashamed of it based on how she carries her body and how she talks. So at one point, her sister's name is Eva. Maisie's writing a diary for her class, and so the conceit is all first person. And she just had a conversation with Beamer where he says that she's beautiful and she can't possibly process this. So she talks about feeling tired and not knowing what to do. And then she says, then I thought of Bess, the girlfriend, about how she said you only have one body, so you may as well enjoy it. She was talking about eating cake, but also I think so much more. I've noticed something in the past few days. She's really comfortable in her own skin. Confident even, it's amazing. I can't remember the last time I felt that way. Comfortable in my own skin. Can you imagine that? Journal? Humor me for a second and pretend you're not an inanimate object, but a real human being with real human feelings. Imagine having a body you are always uncomfortable in. Always. That moves when you want it to be still, makes you want to be still even when you long to move, that doesn't look like how you want it to look or feel how you want it to feel. Imagine seeing those things in your own reflection. Imagine having a body that people stare at wherever you go, pass judgment on, pierce your skin, and get at your soul with their wide eyes, with their raised eyebrows, with their twisted mouths. Imagine seeing that look on the face of your own mother. Imagine having a body that people feel like they can comment on, pass loud judgment on, pierce your skin and get at your soul with their cruel words, their taunts, even their concern, which is really just another way of saying you're not good enough. Imagine hearing those words from your own sister. Imagine having a body that is never seen in the movies you love or the TV shows you watch, except when it's being mocked, treated as a horror, a freak show, something to be laughed at. Imagine hearing that laughter from your own father. Imagine having a body that is to be feared, that turns you into a living cautionary tale, the before that people want to get away from, the after they desperately want to avoid. That's described in words thin people use to put themselves down, to say they feel awful. They can't go out because they're having a fat day, as though it's a viral infection they need to ride out. Imagine hearing those words from your best friend. Can you feel it yet, DJ? Can you feel how unrelentingly exhausting it is? Can you feel the little holes opening up in your soul and emptiness inside of you that can't be filled? We're talking a whole lot more about fat bodies right now in society than we were when I was younger. But if I had read this at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 25, 28, 31, 9, all of the pieces and points along my journey where I was trying to figure out what to do with my body, it would have made me feel seen in a way that almost no other art did. We all want to be seen in the things that we love. All of us. We need representation everywhere. If you're somebody who has never thought about your body, or if you are somebody who says when you're having, when you don't like how you look in an outfit, you say it makes you feel fat, as though fat's a bad word or a contagious disease. If you've never thought about these things, I honestly think what I like about me is a really, really good intro explanation to kind of what it feels like to live in a body that is larger than society allows for. It's a fast read. It's quick. It's cheery. It's cheerful. There's a lot in it to love. It's not perfect. It's a YA book. Like, I have some issues with it. It wasn't like, I'm not going to buy it. Got this one from the library and read it over and over again. But I'm really, really grateful for the time I spent with Maisie Martin and with Beamer and with Sebastian even, and with Eva, and the conversation about bodies that had to happen in their family. So once again, it's called What I Like About Me. It's by Jenna Guillaume, who's an Australian author. So if you're looking to read more international works, this also ticks that box. It is written by an Australian author and takes place in Australia. And I enjoyed it. So that's all from Abbey Research Reads, a recommended empathy read on this in terms of body size representation. I'm Dr. Kristen, and I'll see you next time. Bye.